Have you ever gone to bed tired, but your mind refused to rest? The lights are off, the room is quiet, but inside your head the thoughts keep spinning. Unfinished conversations, tomorrow's worries, regrets you didn't ask for. You lie still, hoping sleep will come, but peace feels far away. Most people try to force sleep by silencing their thoughts. But what if that's not the answer? What if you don't need less thought? You need better thought. You see, your mind doesn't stop when you sleep. It keeps working, sorting through the noise, holding on to what feels important and discarding what doesn't. But if you don't guide it, it strengthens the wrong things. Anxiety, frustration, fear. That's where Stoic wisdom becomes powerful. Not as a bedtime story, but as a mental anchor. For the next 4+ hours, you'll be gently surrounded by the calm, clear teachings of ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, men who faced war, loss, power, and pain, and stayed centered. They didn't escape life's storms, they learned how to stand still inside them. Their words weren't written for comfort, they were written for clarity. And clarity is exactly what the modern mind needs before sleep. These lessons will not force silence. They will invite stillness. They will not distract you from your thoughts. They will help you understand them. And slowly, as the hours pass, you'll feel your mind settle, naturally, effortlessly, deeply. This isn't just about falling asleep. It's about waking up lighter, stronger, clearer. Because when the last thoughts of your day are grounded in wisdom, the next day begins with strength. Let the night begin. Let the mind rest. Let the Stoic voice guide you home. Today, we're going to explore how to start your day with a Stoic mindset. The way we begin our mornings has the power to shape the entire course of our day. Stoicism, an ancient but timeless philosophy, offers us profound lessons for this daily reset. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, reminds us of the privilege of simply being alive, to breathe, to exist. Rather than allowing stress or a foul mood to dominate our mornings, we can choose to greet the day with a mindset rooted in love, awareness, and appreciation. Let's dive into 15 things we should avoid first thing in the morning by applying Stoic principles. Small but powerful changes that can transform not only our mornings, but our entire lives. Stay with me as we discover how shifting our morning mindset with Stoicism can lead to a more balanced, joyful, and meaningful life. Let's begin with one of the most common traps: clinging to your phone. Starting your morning by diving into your smartphone immediately clouds your clarity. In today's fast-paced world, it's almost instinctual. We wake up and grab our phones, instantly pulling ourselves into the chaos of the digital world. But what does this really do for our peace of mind? Stoic philosophers like Seneca warned against wasting precious time and beginning the day by absorbing external noise. When we allow the world's frenzy to flood into our minds before we've even connected with ourselves, we weaken our foundation for the day. Think of your mind as a quiet garden at dawn. Reaching for your phone is like planting weeds in that garden instead of nourishing it with flowers. Why not sow seeds of peace and intention instead? A short meditation, a few minutes of gratitude, or even the simple joy of quietude can shape a day that's more grounded and purposeful. Marcus Aurelius taught that the quality of our thoughts determines the happiness of our lives. When we begin the day with digital noise, we sabotage our inner clarity and purpose. Our brains, much like eager sponges, absorb what we expose them to. Feed it with chaos, and it will carry that through the day. Feed it with peace, and the difference will be remarkable. Challenge yourself to break the habit. Let your phone wait. Embrace the morning silence. Breathe deeply. Reflect. Set a gentle but firm intention for your day. This subtle shift can transform how you handle everything that comes your way. Remember, you are the gardener of your own mind. Tend to it with care from the very first light, and you'll harvest a life of greater balance and satisfaction. The digital world can wait. Your well-being should not. Another trap we often fall into is giving in to negativity as soon as we open our eyes. Whether it's grumbling about the quality of our sleep or dreading the arrival of Monday, these thoughts immediately set a negative tone. Stoic wisdom, especially from Epictetus, reminds us that it's not the events themselves, but our responses to them that determine our experience. Visualize your mind as a garden once again. Complaints are weeds that stifle the growth of anything good. Instead of letting those weeds grow, how about planting seeds of gratitude? Marcus Aurelius noted that the nature of our thoughts defines our happiness. So instead of getting lost in regret or resistance, challenge yourself to find 3 things to be thankful for. It could be the scent of freshly brewed coffee, the warm sunlight streaming through your window, or the anticipation of seeing a loved one. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about giving your mind a compass, a direction. Our brains work like emotional GPS systems. The direction you set early on influences your entire journey. Gratitude shifts that direction toward joy. It not only uplifts our spirit, but strengthens our capacity to meet challenges with grace. Imagine waking up, pausing for a breath, and feeling genuine appreciation for your home, for your health, for a fresh start. That small shift in perspective has the power to transform not just your morning, but your whole day. Complaining may feel easy, but it rarely serves us. Gratitude, on the other hand, is a muscle. The more you work it, the more natural it becomes. You may be surprised how this simple change rewires the rest of your day. So next time the alarm rings, resist the urge to grumble. Pause, breathe, and look for what you can be thankful for. Follow Epictetus's wisdom and witness how this humble morning practice gradually illuminates not only your day, but your entire life. Another silent trap is procrastination. Lingering in bed when it's time to rise. Wake up with energy and a willingness to embrace the day ahead. Hitting snooze again and again may seem harmless, but it actually undermines our energy and motivation. Each time we delay getting up, we disrupt our sleep cycles, which can leave us groggy and scattered. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote, the discipline of self-mastery. Epictetus said that true freedom is found in self-control. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to wake with gratitude and purpose. What if we began to view waking up not as a burden, but as a celebration of life itself? Instead of fighting the alarm, we could greet each new morning as a gift, another chance to grow, to learn, to live. Awakening with intention becomes an energizing force, setting the rhythm for a day of purpose. Rising immediately when the alarm rings becomes a declaration of discipline, a way to strengthen your resolve and take charge of your day. Picture yourself starting with mental sharpness and physical readiness instead of dragging yourself through fatigue and guilt. This simple act of getting up on time can spark a ripple effect throughout your entire routine. The next time your alarm goes off, remember, it's not just a noise, it's a signal, a reminder that you have another opportunity to live fully. Wake up with gratitude. Embrace the day. Witness how that one act can elevate not only your morning, but your life. Then there's the often overlooked habit of neglecting hydration. As we open our eyes in the morning, many of us skip this essential ritual. But after a long night of sleep, our body craves water. It's asking us to replenish what's been lost. Hydration is the most basic and immediate way to awaken our body and energize our mind. Marcus Aurelius taught that the thoughts we feed ourselves shape our happiness. And what better way to prepare the mind than by caring for the vessel that holds it? Drinking water in the morning is like flipping the switch on your inner engine. It kickstarts your organs, wakes up your digestion, and floods your cells with life-giving energy. To drink water first thing is to send your body a clear message. You matter. It's an act of self-respect that sets the tone for your entire day. Water doesn't just hydrate, it detoxifies, energizes, and clears the fog from your mind. Picture yourself savoring those first sips. The cool liquid awakening every fiber of your being, reviving you. It's like watering the soil of your day, ensuring that whatever you plant will thrive. So before you rush into your to-do list or scroll through notifications, pause, take a breath, reach for that glass of water, feel life moving through you again. This seemingly small ritual is a powerful daily reset, a conscious way to step into the day clear, alert, and aligned. Just like a musical instrument must be tuned before a concert, your body deserves the same care. Morning hydration is your way of preparing for the performance of life. Nourish yourself, reawaken, and go forward with renewed strength and clarity. Lastly, don't abandon your sense of calm. The moment of waking up marks the beginning of a sacred transition, from rest to activity, from dream to reality. Let this be a gentle crossing, not a chaotic leap. Give yourself permission to rise slowly, with intention and awareness. Don't allow external pressures to dictate the rhythm of your awakening. The Stoics knew the importance of inner peace, especially in a world that constantly tries to disrupt it. Begin your day rooted in calm, and you'll be more prepared to face whatever comes your way, not with haste, but with presence. Don't abandon the moment, calmly embrace it. Waking up signals the start of a new chapter, yet many of us meet it with urgency and unrest. Imagine if, instead, we could transform this daily act into a nourishing ritual, one that sets the rhythm for a grounded and effective day. The wise Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius once cautioned that haste is the companion of failure. His words echo across time, urging us to begin each day not with panic, but with poise and deliberate intention. Rather than springing out of bed like someone escaping a threat, consider adopting a gentler, more mindful routine. Think of waking as the slow unveiling of dawn, peaceful, promising, and full of possibility. As your eyes flutter open, take a few seconds just to be still. Breathe deeply, allowing the air to awaken your lungs and fuel your body. Stretch slowly, like a cat easing into movement, activating each muscle with care and awareness. As your body slowly comes alive, begin to align your thoughts with the day ahead. Picture your responsibilities not as burdens, but as meaningful opportunities for creation and fulfillment. This is the perfect moment to set clear intentions and reconnect with your deeper purpose. Marcus Aurelius also reminds us to focus on each task only as long as it requires. Apply this principle to your morning. Avoid distractions and stay anchored in what truly matters. Feed your body, your mind, and your soul so that you're well equipped for both the challenges and the joys that await. Taking this mindful approach to awakening lays a strong foundation, like planting a seed of calm that will bloom into clarity and productivity. Imagine gliding through your day like a boat in still waters, not struggling against the current. This single change, waking up with presence, can leave you more grounded, less anxious, and far more prepared to face life with grace. Remember, every morning is another chance to slow your pace and realign with your values. By investing just a few minutes into a calm and deliberate beginning, you're not only enriching your morning routine, but enhancing the quality of your entire day and, ultimately, your life. Let's not forget the fuel we need to start our engines. A day that begins with nourishment is a day primed for resilience. Breakfast, often neglected amid our hectic schedules, is crucial. Much like a vehicle cannot run without fuel, our bodies and minds cannot function optimally without proper morning sustenance. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that our present choices shape our future. Starting the day with nourishment is not merely about satisfying hunger, it's about laying the groundwork for the hours ahead. When we skip breakfast, we're more likely to feel irritable, scattered and sluggish. And yet, it doesn't require a lavish spread. Something as simple as a bowl of oatmeal, a smoothie, or eggs and toast can drastically influence the tone of our day. Epictetus wisely told us to listen more and speak less. Let us apply that to our bodies. Tune in and respond to what it needs. Don't underestimate the impact of a wholesome breakfast. This modest habit holds the power to reshape your daily rhythm, transforming rushed mornings into moments of renewal and readiness. Taking time to eat well in the morning is an investment in energy and motivation. So when your alarm rings tomorrow, resist the urge to hurry. Instead, take a few mindful minutes to nourish your body. You'll be amazed at how this simple act can elevate your entire day. After all, breakfast isn't just a meal, it's the first conscious step toward a remarkable day. Drifting through the day without direction leaves us vulnerable to uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius urged us not just to reflect on virtue, but to embody it in our daily lives. This principle applies beautifully to our morning routine. Imagine waking without a clear agenda, adrift in a sea of endless options with nothing to anchor your time. It becomes easy to be swept up in distractions, only to end the day wondering where the time went and why you feel so unfulfilled. But now imagine the alternative. You rise with intention and become the architect of your day. Spend a few minutes in the morning sketching out a plan. List your most crucial tasks and decide what matters most. This small act creates momentum and helps you move through the day with clarity and purpose. You'll find yourself less distracted, more driven. Epictetus reminds us that true wealth lies not in abundance, but in simplifying our desires. Planning your day lets you focus energy on what truly counts, avoiding the drain of trivialities. Visualize starting your morning with a clear route. It's a subtle shift that can drastically enhance not only productivity, but your sense of purpose and fulfillment. So before diving into your to-do list tomorrow, pause. Take a breath. Map your direction. You'll be surprised at how this minor ritual can shift your entire day into one of meaningful progress. Our waking thoughts can often feel like a downpour of worry and doubt, but we have the power to shift that internal climate. Marcus Aurelius taught that our minds are shaped by the impressions we allow. Like a blacksmith's hammer that molds the metal, our thoughts forge our experience. While we may not control every event, we can absolutely control our response. Envision waking up, and instead of sinking into a mental fog of stress, you choose to see the day as a blank canvas waiting for vibrant colors. Epictetus said, "It's not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them." This insight alone can transform obstacles into moments of learning and evolution. The moment you catch your thoughts turning sour, pause. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me? Is there a more constructive way to see this situation? This practice of self-awareness is like sowing seeds of emotional strength. Our thoughts, after all, guide our emotions, which then shape our actions. Cultivating a positive mindset early in the day is like aligning a compass before a journey. It sets the direction. Picture your mind as a sailboat adjusting its sails to catch the best winds. Even on turbulent seas, you can stay on course. Strengthening this habit of noticing, questioning, and redirecting negative thoughts is like building emotional muscles. With time, you become more resilient, able to face stress and adversity with calm resolve. So the next time your morning begins with a wave of negativity, remember the teachings of the Stoics. Pause, observe, choose again. Let the sunlight in. You'll be amazed at how this one small shift can brighten not only your morning, but your entire life. At dawn, there lies a precious opportunity to mold the shape of your day. Often, in our eagerness to dive into tasks and obligations, we overlook this sacred window for self-reflection. Yet this moment of stillness can be a powerful anchor, setting the emotional tone for everything that follows. Imagine waking, and instead of rushing, you take just a few minutes to check in with yourself. This quiet pause holds the capacity to change your entire outlook and equip your spirit to meet the day ahead. Marcus Aurelius, in his enduring wisdom, advised beginning each morning with a mental exercise, reminding yourself that the day will bring challenges, rudeness, selfishness, ungratefulness. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. It's about building resilience, so you're not caught off guard. Without this pause for contemplation, we risk becoming lost in a sea of obligations, tossed by waves of distraction and expectation. Morning reflection becomes your internal compass, guiding your thoughts, decisions, and actions throughout the day. It's like consulting a map before a long journey, clarifying your destination and the route that will get you there. This doesn't need to be complex. It can be as simple as sitting quietly with your breath, acknowledging what lies ahead, and reminding yourself of your deeper values. This small act of mental tuning can be the most powerful part of your morning, transforming chaos into clarity and routine into meaning. It can be as simple as sitting quietly for a few minutes, jotting your thoughts down in a journal, or engaging in a brief meditation. What truly matters is taking a moment to carve out mental space that allows you to clarify your intentions and priorities. By committing to this habit, you lay a strong foundation for your day. You'll find yourself more centered, less reactive to whatever the world throws at you, and more in tune with your deeper purpose. Picture the contrast between launching into your day already entangled in chaos versus beginning with calm, clarity, and intention. This seemingly minor morning ritual could very well serve as the spark for a profound transformation in your daily experience, boosting both productivity and inner peace. So next time the day begins, greet the dawn with mindfulness before rushing into your routine. Pause, take a deep breath, reflect on what matters most, and mentally equip yourself for the road ahead. Remember what Marcus Aurelius advised. Begin each day by reminding yourself, today I will encounter interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. This isn't about fostering negativity, but about preparing the mind to meet whatever challenges arise with composure and wisdom. Equally important is not overlooking the needs of your physical body, particularly in the morning. As we rise, our body pleads for attention. Epictetus wisely reminded us that we must define our essence before we act, a lesson that applies just as much to morning physical neglect. Ignoring the body's signals upon waking can lead to stiffness, fatigue, and a lack of energy. Our body, like a finely tuned machine, requires daily maintenance. A brief stretching routine or light physical activity in the morning can be the catalyst that unlocks our energy for the entire day. Marcus Aurelius likened life to a form of struggle, a challenge we must be physically prepared to meet. Morning movement is more than just physical. It triggers chemical processes, enhancing blood circulation and releasing endorphins, the natural messengers of happiness and vitality. By dedicating just a few minutes to this self-care ritual, it's as if you flip a switch that activates your entire being. Visualize yourself caring for your well-being. Every stretch, every movement is an act of growth. This modest habit can become the cornerstone of a transformation that improves both your physical and mental health, smoothing the transition into your day and energizing your every step. The next time the sun rises, before plunging into your to-do list, pause and honor your body. Stretch, move, and observe how this ritual becomes a wellspring of revitalizing energy. Your body is your most faithful companion on this life journey. Treat it with the dignity and care it deserves, and it will respond with strength and resilience to meet whatever the day may bring. Another often overlooked aspect of a meaningful morning is nurturing your relationships. In the pursuit of a meaningful life, Stoic philosophy holds relationships in high regard. Seneca, one of its greatest voices, highlighted the irreplaceable value of friendship and love as pillars of a fulfilling existence. Amid the noise and busyness of daily life, it's all too easy to sideline the connections that matter most in favor of tasks and obligations. Yet, taking a few moments each morning to nurture these emotional ties can greatly enrich not just your own well-being, but also the lives of those you care about. A heartfelt good morning, a genuine hug, or a short, thoughtful conversation can reinforce the bonds that remind us we are not alone in this world. Marcus Aurelius urged us to accept and cherish the people that fate has placed in our lives. With an attitude of love and acceptance, our daily interactions can transform into profound sources of strength and encouragement. Beginning the day with a dose of positive human connection instills a sense of belonging and joy, which enhances our resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. These moments help us stay grounded in what truly matters. By fostering gratitude and affection in our relationships, we build a solid support network, one that uplifts us during hardships and celebrates with us in times of joy. This practice doesn't just enrich our personal lives, it sets off a ripple of positivity that can touch everyone around us. So, as the day begins, before the busyness sweeps you away, make time to connect with someone special. Whether it's through a warm message, a quick phone call, or sharing a morning meal, these small gestures can transform your morning and infuse your life with deeper meaning. Relationships are life's true treasure. Never underestimate the power of a simple act of kindness. It could be the ray of light that brightens not only your day, but also that of many others. Breathing, something so basic yet so often taken for granted, is another powerful tool for transformation that is often overlooked. Conscious breathing, when practiced intentionally, can reset your entire day. Picture yourself beginning each morning with a clear mind and a calm body, fully ready to meet whatever comes. This is the gift that mindful breathing can offer. Stoic thinkers like Epictetus stress the importance of being anchored in the present moment, and breathing is the most immediate path to that awareness. It serves as our natural anchor, gently pulling us away from regrets of the past or worries about the future. Imagine your breath as a quiet rhythm between your inner self and the outer world. Every inhale brings in new energy, every exhale lets go of what no longer serves. It's a simple act, yet deeply transformative. When you rise in the morning, resist the urge to plunge straight into the chaos. Instead, take a few moments for yourself. Feel the air as it enters your nostrils, expands your lungs, and fills your belly. Hold it for a moment, savor it, then let it go slowly, releasing tension as you do. This simple process has remarkable effects. It soothes the nervous system, lowers stress levels, and sharpens your focus. But conscious breathing isn't just a physical activity, it's a discipline. By focusing on the breath, you're learning how to direct your attention, a precious ability in today's distraction-heavy world. Recall the words of Epictetus. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Reapproach breathing with fresh curiosity. You may be amazed at the clarity and peace it brings. No special tools or long hours are needed. Just a few quiet moments can lay the groundwork for a day rooted in calm and purpose. So, when the alarm sounds next, resist the pull of routine. Instead, pause, breathe. Let each inhale be a reminder that you're alive, present, and prepared to greet the day. This gentle shift may well be the beginning of a richer, more balanced existence. And finally, never lose sight of nature. Its quiet majesty offers wisdom and healing that we too often neglect in our modern routines. Surrounded by screens, artificial light, and endless noise, we drift further from the natural world and, in doing so, from our own essence. Yet, reawakening our connection with nature can be a deeply transformative experience. Imagine beginning your day not to the jarring ring of an alarm, but to the soft rustle of leaves, the flow of a stream, or the melodic chorus of birds. Marcus Aurelius, in his enduring insight, encouraged us to pause and behold the beauty of sunrises and sunsets, to admire the calmness of water. Science supports what ancient wisdom has long held. Spending time in nature can ease our anxious minds, elevate our mood, and sharpen our focus. It's as if returning to the natural world allows us to recalibrate our own internal rhythm. The beauty of it is that we don't need grand adventures to reap these benefits. Small, intentional acts, like opening a window to feel the morning air, stepping outside to hear the birds, or watching the sky change color at dawn, can be more than enough. Sometimes the most ordinary gestures are the most powerful, like opening your window in the morning to breathe in the crisp air, or taking a short walk while noticing the soft hues of the sky and the gentle sway of leaves dancing in the wind. These simple moments can be enough to root you firmly in the present. Nature offers us timeless wisdom about movement, impermanence, and beauty. Each blooming flower and drifting cloud reminds us how precious the present moment truly is. So, before you throw yourself into the busyness of the day, pause. Give yourself the gift of stillness and connection with the natural world. Observe, breathe, feel. Let the calm and quiet strength of nature flow into you, anchoring you with a sense of inner stability to face whatever the day may bring. This small yet deeply powerful ritual has the capacity to transform not just your mornings, but your entire outlook on life. Nature waits, always patient, always welcoming, ready to hold you in its nurturing arms. All it asks is that you say yes to its invitation to rediscover the peace and beauty that exist not only around you, but also within you. Do not lose sight of your true essence. Revisit your values and realign with your goals so you can live each day with authenticity and meaning. At the start of your day, take a few quiet moments to visualize intentionally. This practice, inspired by the insights of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, can serve as the catalyst for unlocking your fullest potential. Begin by mentally sketching out your day. Picture your responsibilities and challenges and imagine yourself skillfully navigating them. Envision handling work demands with calm clarity, gracefully managing the unexpected and interacting with others, whether in meetings or casual exchanges, with warmth and wisdom. See yourself triumphing over setbacks, approaching problems creatively, and finding balance in moments of tension. This is not wishful thinking. This is mental training. Just as elite athletes rehearse their performance in their minds before the competition, you too can prepare your brain for the day's trials. Each positive image you hold builds confidence and emotional strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that while we cannot predict the future, we can meet it with peace if our mind is prepared. Think of yourself as an architect designing the blueprint for your ideal day. Every detail you envision is a step closer to a more purposeful, structured life. This morning ritual becomes your compass, guiding your choices and behavior toward your deeper aspirations. It's like activating a mental GPS, setting your destination and allowing your subconscious to map out the best path forward. By engaging in visualization and immersing yourself fully in your morning rhythm, you're scripting your day in advance. Each imagined scene becomes emotional armor, helping you walk into reality with composure and clarity. The mind is like a garden. It flourishes with what you nurture. When you plant seeds of positivity and empowering images first thing in the morning, you lay the groundwork for a day rich in meaning and success. So, before the whirlwind of your daily routine begins, take a pause, breathe slowly, close your eyes, and see your best day unfold in your mind's eye. This seemingly small act can shift your entire perspective, strengthening your confidence and resilience so that you can take on any challenge that crosses your path. Do not drift away from gratitude. When you wake up, imagine yourself as a tender of the soul, planting the seeds of appreciation deep within your heart. This practice, deeply rooted in the teachings of Stoicism, has the potential to completely shift the way you see your life and elevate your experience in the most unexpected ways. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great voices, likened gratitude to a hidden treasure that waits to be found each morning. As you open your eyes to a new day, let yourself sink into a state of grateful awareness. Grateful for the people who enrich your life, the simple pleasures that surround you, and the opportunities that continue to present themselves. Gratitude becomes your lighthouse, steering your thoughts away from the jagged cliffs of negativity and guiding them toward the calm shores of joy and appreciation. The benefits of this practice extend well beyond emotional well-being. Gratitude touches the very fabric of your physical and mental health, acting as an unseen shield against stress and enhancing your natural resilience. Visualize yourself stepping into the day wrapped in a glowing aura of contentment, radiating tranquility in every interaction. Gratitude becomes a magical lens, revealing beauty in the smallest details. And when life becomes difficult, this habit of thankfulness serves as your anchor, keeping you steady during the storms. Marcus Aurelius viewed every morning as a sacred gift, an opportunity to breathe, to think, to feel, and to love. When you infuse your morning with Stoic principles, you begin crafting a stronger, wiser version of yourself with each new dawn. Let every sunrise be a fresh chance to plant gratitude, gather purpose, and water the deep inner strength that fuels your journey to make the world a better place. The way you begin your day can be the spark that ignites a profound shift in your entire life. So, I invite you to step into this new day with intention and curiosity. Embrace the teachings of Stoicism. Apply them to your daily life and witness the quiet yet powerful transformations that begin to unfold. The ancient wisdom of the Stoics remains profoundly relevant today and may hold the key to living a more centered, fulfilling life in the modern world. Don't let yourself feel rushed or overwhelmed by all these insights. Remember, this video will always be here for you, ready to offer guidance whenever you need to return to it. The path of Stoicism is not a race. It is a gentle, continuous unfolding. Start slowly. Choose one lesson to begin with. Consistency and reflection matter more than speed. In the comments, share which lesson you feel drawn to begin practicing. If you found value in this content, give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. And if you've made it this far into the video, let us know by commenting the words Stoic Wisdom. I read each and every message and truly appreciate your presence and commitment. Don't forget to explore the 2 videos appearing on your screen now. They will beautifully complement today's teachings and deepen your understanding. Until next time. Did you know that the secret to transforming your life's biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities might have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so powerful nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. This ancient superpower, it's an age-old philosophy that's as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control every aspect of our lives, we have absolute power over how we choose to react. And in today's world, where uncertainty seems to be the only certainty, these teachings could be the anchor we've all been searching for. What if I told you that Stoicism is more about action than thought? It's about living a life filled with purpose, resilience, and happiness, no matter what life throws your way. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but understanding and managing them to lead a more fulfilling life. So whether you're dealing with stress, facing adversity, or simply looking to find more joy in the everyday, stick around. Today we're diving deep into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom and discovering how it can transform not just the way we think, but the way we live. If you're eager to embark on this journey of transformation, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Stick with me till the end without skipping, because every moment of this video is a step towards uncovering the Stoic wisdom that can change your life. Focusing on what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay, or scrolling through your phone only to get upset over a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to the best of us. It's almost like our day-to-day life is filled with these little tests, challenging our mood and our peace of mind at every turn. But here's a game-changing perspective from the world of Stoicism that can turn all that frustration on its head. Stoicism, this incredible philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, hands us this powerful tool, focusing on what's in our control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic, bad weather, negative comments, these are all outside our control. We can't change them, no matter how much we wish we could. What we can change, however, is how we react to them. This idea isn't just ancient wisdom, it's backed by modern psychology too. Carl Jung, a giant in the field of psychology, famously stated, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice. It's about recognizing that the only real power we have is over our own reactions, thoughts, and actions. Let's break it down a bit. Say you're in that traffic jam, late for an important meeting. You can spend that time stewing in anger, honking your horn, and stressing out, which, let's be honest, won't make the cars ahead move any faster. Or you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and maybe use the time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or simply enjoy some music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response to it has. And with that shift, your stress levels drop, and your day looks a bit brighter. This Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control extends far beyond just dealing with traffic or weather. It applies to our personal goals, our reactions to others, and our approach to obstacles in life. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So next time you find yourself getting worked up over something outside your control, remember these wise words from our Stoic friends. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Focus on your reaction, your mindset, and your actions. This simple shift can have a profound impact on your stress levels and overall happiness. It's not always easy, but it's worth practicing every day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. And as we learn to focus more on what's in our control, we'll find ourselves not just surviving life's challenges, but thriving in spite of them. Stoicism teaches us the art of embracing obstacles as opportunities. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Most of us are programmed to view obstacles as just that, barriers to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus flip this narrative on its head. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. They tell us when life throws you a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn?" This is a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, penned in his personal writings, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he means here is that every obstacle, no matter how daunting, not only tests our resilience, but also teaches us valuable lessons. It's about finding the silver lining in tough situations and using it to fuel our growth. This perspective isn't just ancient philosophy. It's backed by modern thinkers too. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." By fighting against obstacles, we give them more power over us, but by accepting and learning from them, we can overcome them. This Stoic mindset is about transforming challenges into stepping stones towards becoming stronger and wiser. Let's make it practical. Say you're facing rejection from job applications. It's easy to fall into a spiral of self-pity and doubt, but what if you viewed each rejection as feedback? Maybe there's a skill you need to improve or a new strategy for your job search. That shift in perspective can turn a series of rejections into a path for professional development. Another example is personal conflicts. They're uncomfortable and stressful, but they also offer a chance to practice patience, empathy, and communication skills. Every disagreement is an opportunity to understand different viewpoints and to refine our conflict resolution abilities. The essence of embracing obstacles as opportunities lies in asking ourselves, what can this situation teach me? Instead of being passive victims of circumstance, we become active learners and problem solvers. This doesn't mean that facing obstacles becomes easy, but it does mean that we approach them with a mindset geared towards growth and learning. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of Stoicism. It's about seeing beyond the immediate pain or frustration of an obstacle and finding the lessons and opportunities it presents. So when you're faced with a challenge, big or small, try to pause and reframe it. Ask yourself what you can learn from the situation and how it can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, obstacles aren't just hurdles to overcome, they're opportunities to grow. By adopting this Stoic mindset, we can navigate life's ups and downs with more grace, resilience, and wisdom. It's something we hear about all the time, right? Live in the now. But what does that really mean, and why is it so important? Living in the present moment is about fully embracing and experiencing where you are at this very second, not letting your mind wander off to the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It's about realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges, and surprises, happens in the now. This concept isn't new. It's been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, echoed by great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. And it's been reiterated by modern psychologists and thinkers. Let's start with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future." Living in the present moment. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, to clear our minds of distractions, and to allow us to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. But why is it so hard to stay present? Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries about what's next, or replaying things that have already happened. This constant mental noise pulls us away from the beauty and potential of the here and now. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung put it, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Living in the present moment gives meaning to the small, everyday experiences, enriching our lives beyond measure. Aristotle talked about the importance of being mindful of the present to achieve eudaimonia, a state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. He believed that by focusing on the here and now, we could live a virtuous life, making the most of our human experience. So how can we practice living in the present? It starts with mindfulness, the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, notice the feeling of the ground under your feet. Listen actively when someone is speaking to you instead of planning what you're going to say next. These simple acts of mindfulness bring us back to the present, making our lives richer and more meaningful. Seneca offered this wisdom. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. He understood that anxiety about what's to come or what has been only serves to diminish our happiness in the now. Living in the present isn't about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding a balance where we learn from our past and plan for our future without letting those activities consume our present. It's in this balance that we find peace and contentment. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to reset and refocus on the now. It's in the present that we live, love, and make memories. So let's make a conscious effort to be more present in our lives. Let's cherish the now, for this moment right here is where life truly happens. I know the word self-discipline might bring to mind images of rigid schedules and a life devoid of fun, but let's reshape that picture together. Self-discipline is not about restricting your life. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your deepest values and long-term aspirations. It's choosing what's right for you, not what's easy in the moment. At its core, building self-discipline is about mastery over ourselves. It's about saying yes to things that serve us and no to things that don't, even when it's tough. Think about it. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, saving money instead of impulse buying, or turning off Netflix to focus on a project, these choices might not deliver instant gratification, but they pave the way for long-term satisfaction and success. Stoic philosophy has a lot to say about self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement highlights the essence of self-discipline. It's about controlling our impulses, building self-discipline, emotions and actions despite the external temptations and distractions that life throws our way. Seneca offers wisdom on the subject too. He advises us to be steadfast and control our desires rather than being controlled by them. He understood that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to govern ourselves and our appetites. But why is self-discipline so critical? Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, sheds light on this. He believed that we achieve excellence and virtue through habit. By practicing self-discipline, we cultivate habits that lead us toward our best selves. It's not about occasional acts of willpower, but about consistently making choices that reflect our values and goals. Building self-discipline also ties into modern psychological understanding. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our personality to live fully. This integration requires self-discipline, as we must navigate the desires of different parts of our psyche, choosing paths that contribute to our overall well-being and growth. So how can we build self-discipline in our daily lives? Start small. Pick one area you want to improve, whether it's your diet, exercise routine, or spending habits. Set clear, achievable goals and take it one day at a time. Remember, every time you make a choice that aligns with your goals, you're building the muscle of self-discipline. Epictetus reminds us, "No great thing is created suddenly." Self-discipline is built through small, consistent actions. It's about progress, not perfection. Every day presents new opportunities to practice self-discipline, to choose actions that move us closer to who we want to be. Building self-discipline is a journey. It's about finding balance between what we want now and what we want most. It's about making choices that might be hard in the moment, but will bring us closer to our goals, happiness, and peace in the long run. So let's commit to this journey together, supporting one another in choosing what's right, not what's easy. Remember, in the realm of self-discipline lies the path to achieving our dreams and living a life we truly love. When life throws its curveballs, We all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is a natural part of being human. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the emotions we feel, it's about how we handle them. That's where the magic of emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like this superpower that allows us to navigate through life's storms with grace and come out stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward rather than being swept away by the tide of our feelings. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight touches the essence of emotional resilience. It's about recognizing that while we might not have control over what happens to us, we have control over how we respond. Developing emotional resilience. Our emotions don't have to control our actions. Seneca offers wisdom on facing adversity without losing our composure. He teaches that life's hardships are tests of our character and resilience. By facing our feelings with understanding and patience, we can grow wiser and more robust. But how do we develop this emotional resilience? It starts with self-awareness. Being mindful of our emotions and reactions helps us understand ourselves better. It's okay to feel what we're feeling, but instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond in a way that aligns with our values and long-term well-being. Aristotle spoke about the golden mean, finding the balance between excess and deficiency. This concept applies beautifully to emotional resilience. It's about finding a balanced response to our emotions, not suppressing them or letting them overpower us. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our psyche to achieve wholeness. Part of this process involves confronting our emotions, understanding them, and learning from them. This is at the heart of developing emotional resilience. So what can you do when you're in the grip of strong emotions? First, give yourself permission to feel. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Then, take a step back and try to understand what triggered these feelings. This reflection can provide valuable insights into your emotional patterns and triggers. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a powerful reminder that our reactions to our emotions can shape our experiences. Instead of being reactive, we can choose to respond in a way that is constructive and healing. Developing emotional resilience is a journey. It involves practicing mindfulness, self-reflection, and patience. It's about building a toolkit of coping strategies like journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or practicing relaxation techniques. Most importantly, it's about treating yourself with kindness and compassion as you navigate through your emotions. Emotional resilience is not about never feeling negative emotions. It's about learning to ride the waves of those emotions with grace and coming out on the other side stronger and more self-aware. By developing emotional resilience, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with courage and poise. Let's embrace this journey together, supporting each other in becoming more emotionally resilient and ultimately living a more fulfilling life. The Stoics, including great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, used this concept not to create fear, but to inspire a deeper appreciation for every moment. They believed that by keeping the inevitability of death in mind, we would live more fully, consciously, and with gratitude for the present. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the transience of life, encouraging us to live in a way that's true to our values and to make the most of the time we're given. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, he wrote. This isn't about being morose. It's a call to action, a reminder to focus on what truly matters. Memento mori, remember you will die. To let go of petty concerns and to live with purpose and integrity. Seneca too spoke about the shortness of life, urging us not to waste time on trivialities, but to focus on creating a meaningful existence. He believed that being mindful of death encourages us to live more wisely and to cherish our relationships and experiences. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on the present and making the best use of our time. By remembering that we won't live forever, we're more likely to live ethically and to appreciate the beauty and richness of life. But how can we incorporate memento mori into our own lives without it feeling like a dark cloud over our heads? It starts with shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing the awareness of death as something fearful, we can view it as a powerful motivator to live our lives to the fullest. It's about embracing the present, not postponing our dreams or happiness for some undefined future that's not guaranteed. Think about the things you've been putting off. Maybe it's pursuing a passion, reconnecting with loved ones, or simply taking time to appreciate the small joys of everyday life. Memento mori reminds us not to take our time for granted. It encourages us to live more authentically, to say what we mean, to love openly, and to be present in our lives. This concept also teaches us to appreciate the impermanence of life, which in turn deepens our gratitude for the moments we have. When we remember that our time is limited, we're more likely to cherish our experiences, to live more mindfully, and to express our gratitude for the people and moments that enrich our lives. So let's use memento mori not as a source of fear, but as a catalyst for growth, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of life. Let it remind us to make choices that align with our deepest values, to cherish our relationships, and to savor the beauty of the present moment. Remembering that we will die one day encourages us to live more fully today. In embracing memento mori, we find a powerful reminder to live not in fear of death, but in celebration of life. Let's make every moment count, not because we're afraid of its end, but because we're in love with life itself. Let's live in a way that when our time does come, we can look back with no regrets, knowing we lived fully, loved deeply, and appreciated the incredible journey that life is. It's fascinating how such a simple concept can have a profound impact on our lives. It's about shifting our focus to what we have rather than dwelling on what we're missing. This practice can be a real game changer, especially on those days that feel like an uphill battle. The Stoics, wise as they were, had a lot to say about gratitude. They believed that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present and finding joy in the simple things. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the many gifts it offers us each day. Practicing gratitude. Seneca talked about how our desires can lead us astray, always chasing after more and never finding true satisfaction. He suggested that by focusing on what we have and understanding that the best things in life are already within our grasp, we can find real contentment. Epictetus, known for his practical approach to Stoic philosophy, encouraged his followers to appreciate their current circumstances, whatever they might be. He believed that by accepting and finding value in our present situation, we could live a more fulfilled life. But how do we practice gratitude, especially when life throws curveballs our way? It starts with making it a daily habit. Each morning or evening, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. This practice helps to rewire our brains to focus on the positive, boosting our mood and overall outlook on life. Gratitude also means embracing the challenges and finding lessons within them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can help us appreciate our experiences, both good and bad, as valuable steps on our journey. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps us build stronger connections with others. By expressing appreciation for the people in our lives, we not only brighten their day, but also strengthen our relationships. A simple thank you can go a long way in showing someone that they're valued and loved. Aristotle spoke about the importance of recognizing the good in our lives and striving for a virtuous life. He believed that gratitude was a key part of achieving eudaimonia, or true happiness, as it allows us to appreciate the goodness around us and within ourselves. Even modern psychology supports the benefits of gratitude. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience less anxiety, sleep better, and have a more positive outlook on life. It's like Carl Jung said, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. By acknowledging and being grateful for the full spectrum of our experiences, we find a deeper, more authentic form of happiness. So let's make gratitude a cornerstone of our daily lives. Let's celebrate the small victories, cherish the moments of connection, and find joy in the simple pleasures. By focusing on what we have, not what we're missing, we can cultivate a sense of abundance and happiness that shines from within. Remember, it's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. Let's fill our glasses half full, raise them high, and toast to the beauty of gratitude in our lives. Cheers to finding the silver lining, even on the cloudiest of days. The Stoics had a profound understanding of personal excellence. They believed that excellence, or virtue, is the sole good, and that everything we do should aim towards living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, is a prime example of someone who strived for personal excellence. He once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of personal excellence. It's about embodying the values we admire and striving to live by them every day. Focusing on personal excellence. Seneca emphasized the importance of self-improvement and learning. He advocated for a life lived in accordance with nature and reason, suggesting that true excellence comes from within and is reflected in our actions and choices. Epictetus highlighted the role of personal responsibility in achieving excellence. He taught that our reactions, our emotions, and our will are within our control, and mastering them is key to living a life of virtue. But what does focusing on personal excellence look like in our day-to-day lives? It starts with setting personal standards based on our values and aspirations, not societal expectations or the achievements of others. It's about knowing who we are, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, and taking consistent steps towards improvement. Personal excellence is also about resilience. It's about how we respond to setbacks and failures, not just our successes. Like Aristotle said, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. This means embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than seeing them as obstacles. Moreover, focusing on personal excellence involves cultivating a growth mindset, a concept championed by modern psychology. It's the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see effort as a path to mastery. Personal excellence also means living authentically. It's about being true to ourselves and our values, even when it's not easy. It's about making choices that reflect who we are and who we want to be, and taking pride in our journey, including the struggles and the triumphs. Practicing gratitude, as we discussed earlier, ties into personal excellence too. By appreciating what we have and where we are on our journey, we foster a positive outlook that supports our growth and well-being. So let's commit to focusing on personal excellence. Let's set our own standards, embrace our unique paths, and take pride in our progress. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating our efforts, learning from our experiences, and always striving to be the best versions of ourselves. Together, let's make personal excellence not just a goal, but a way of life. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows, and comments often dictate our self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of valuing ourselves through the lens of others' opinions. But here's a liberating truth. Your worth isn't based on external validation. It's about being true to yourself, embracing your authenticity, and living in alignment with your values. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers we keep turning to for timeless wisdom, had a lot to say about this. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, our integrity, not the fluctuating opinions of others. Not caring what others think. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." This striking observation highlights the paradox many of us live with, valuing others' judgments over our own self-assessment. Seneca echoed this sentiment by emphasizing the importance of living a life true to oneself, not one shaped by the expectations or approval of others. He believed that true contentment comes from within, from living a life that's congruent with our principles and values. Epictetus taught that worrying about others' opinions is outside our control and therefore not worth our energy. He encouraged focusing instead on our own actions and on living virtuously, as that's where our true power lies. So how can we start caring less about what others think and more about being true to ourselves? First, it's about understanding that you are the author of your life story. You have the power to define your worth, not society, not your social media followers, nor the people around you. It's about grounding your self-esteem in who you are, the values you stand for, the kindness you spread, and the effort you put into being your best self. Second, practice self-reflection. Ask yourself, whose life am I living? Am I making choices based on my desires, or am I trying to fit into someone else's mold? Reflecting on these questions can help realign your actions with your true self. Third, embrace vulnerability. Being true to yourself means being open about your flaws and all, understanding that perfection is an illusion. It's okay to be a work in progress, making mistakes and learning from them. This authenticity attracts the right people into your life, those who appreciate the real you. Moreover, remember the words of Aristotle, who spoke about the golden mean, finding balance in life. Applying this to our concern for others' opinions, it's about finding a healthy balance between considering constructive feedback and maintaining our autonomy and self-worth. Incorporating a Stoic mindset into our lives means understanding that our worth is determined by our virtues, our actions, and our commitment to living a meaningful life, not by external accolades or approval. It's about building a strong inner fortress that remains unshaken by the fleeting opinions of others. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we truly are, not for the likes, follows, or approval we receive. Let's be courageous in our authenticity, living lives that resonate with our deepest truths. Remember, your worth is inherent and unique, and by being true to yourself, you shine your light in the most genuine way possible. Let's not just navigate life, but thrive in it, with the confidence that comes from knowing we are living authentically, aligned with our values and true to ourselves. Here's the thing. Accepting change is not just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is, the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating through them less scary and more of an adventure. The Stoics, accepting change, had an incredibly healthy perspective on change. They saw it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This profound acceptance of change as part of the fabric of life helps us understand that each change, whether we perceive it as good or bad, has its place in our story. Seneca taught that becoming too attached to our current circumstances can lead to disappointment, because inevitably those circumstances will change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change is not just a part of life, but a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. Epictetus encouraged us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. He pointed out that while we can't control external events, we can control our attitudes towards them. This mindset is incredibly empowering when it comes to dealing with change. It's about focusing on our responses, finding the opportunities for growth within the change, and moving forward with resilience. But how can we become more accepting of change? First, by acknowledging that change is inevitable. It's the natural order of things. Everything around us is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, people come and go, and our very cells are renewing themselves as we speak. Embracing change means embracing life itself. Second, by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows us to appreciate our current experiences without clinging to them. This awareness creates a space for acceptance when those experiences inevitably evolve or come to an end. Third, by seeking the lessons in change. Every shift in our lives, no matter how challenging, comes with opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can turn the challenges of change into stepping stones for personal development. Aristotle spoke about the importance of pursuing a virtuous life as the key to happiness. Part of virtue is adaptability, the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. It's about finding balance and harmony within the flux of life. Modern psychology supports this Stoic approach to change. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can significantly reduce our stress and anxiety levels. It can enhance our resilience, making us better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Let's remind ourselves that change is not just something to endure, but to welcome as a natural, enriching part of our journey. By accepting change, we open ourselves to new experiences, growth, and the beautiful unfolding of our unique paths in life. Remember, going with the flow isn't about passivity. It's about actively engaging with life in its full, dynamic complexity. Let's navigate the currents of change with courage, grace, and a heart open to the endless possibilities that change brings. Despite our differences, we're all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude towards others, we contribute to making the world a kinder. Practicing compassion and empathy. More loving place. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humans and taught that kindness and understanding towards others are essential aspects of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that human beings are social creatures by nature, meant to live in harmony and cooperation with one another. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." This beautifully illustrates the idea that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. Seneca emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and generosity. He argued that compassion is a natural human instinct and that by helping others, we also help ourselves. In his writings, Seneca encourages us to extend our empathy even to those who have wronged us, understanding that they too are acting out of their own struggles and limitations. Epictetus taught that we should strive to understand others' perspectives, recognizing that everyone has their reasons for their actions. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather approaching others with a mindset of empathy, seeking to understand their experiences and viewpoints. But how can we practice compassion and empathy in our daily lives? It starts with listening, truly listening to the stories, experiences, and feelings of those around us. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes, imagining their struggles, their joys, their fears, and their hopes. This act of understanding can bridge the gap between us, fostering a sense of connection and shared humanity. Another way to cultivate compassion and empathy is through acts of kindness, no matter how small: a smile, a kind word, a listening ear. These can all make a significant difference in someone's day. By being present and attentive to others, we signal that they matter, that their feelings and experiences are valid and important. Practicing compassion and empathy also means being there for others in times of need, offering support and understanding without judgment. It's about recognizing the value and dignity of every person, regardless of our differences. The ancient philosopher Aristotle spoke about the importance of friendship and the role of empathy in building strong, meaningful relationships. He believed that true friends not only share in each other's joys, but also in their sorrows, supporting each other with empathy and understanding. Modern psychology supports the Stoic emphasis on compassion and empathy, showing that these virtues not only enhance our relationships, but also our own emotional well-being. By caring for others, we foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and happiness in our own lives. Let's remind ourselves that behind every face is a story, behind every action is a reason, and that by understanding and caring for each other, we make the world a kinder, gentler place. In doing so, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also find deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. This is about taking a pause, a real, meaningful pause, to look back on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've tread. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our deepest values. In a world that's always rushing forward, this practice is our anchor, ensuring we're not just being swept away, but are sailing in the direction that's true to us. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, which we now treasure as meditations, offered a model of this practice. He didn't just rule an empire. He took the time to examine his life, his decisions, and his moral compass. Through writing, he saw this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca recommended regular self-assessment as a way to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script we value, the script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day with a review of their actions and attitudes. This wasn't about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. He urged us to ask ourselves, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What duties left undone? Through such questions, we can steer our lives more consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we incorporate this Stoic practice of reflection and review into our modern lives? First, by making it a habit. Dedicate a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day. What were your victories? Where did you face challenges, and how did you respond? This practice can start as a mental exercise, but writing it down can enhance its benefits, giving you a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a tool for gratitude. In reviewing your day, also take note of the moments, no matter how small, that brought you joy or gratitude. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, cultivating a more positive outlook on life. Third, approach this practice with kindness. Reflection is not about berating yourself for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for learning and growth. Be as understanding and supportive to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. Aristotle spoke about the importance of living a reflective life. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding ourselves, our actions, and our place in the world. This reflection is the essence of living an examined life, one that's in accordance with virtue and excellence. In modern psychology, the benefits of regular reflection are well documented, showing improvements in mental health, clarity of purpose, and personal growth. Reflecting on our experiences helps us process emotions, learn from our actions, and make more informed decisions moving forward. Let's commit to this practice of reflecting and reviewing regularly. Let it be our guidepost, ensuring that we're not just passively experiencing life, but actively shaping it according to our values. By taking the time to look back, we gain the insight needed to move forward more aligned, more aware, and more in tune with the essence of who we are and who we aspire to be. Let's cherish this journey of introspection, for it is in knowing ourselves that we find the path to true fulfillment and joy. Each of these lessons from Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, they're life hacks that can help us deal with stress, make better decisions, and find peace in chaos. Remember, it's not the challenges along the way that define us, but the strength we find in facing them, the wisdom we gather, and the compassion we share. Each step, each reflection, each act of kindness is a brushstroke in the masterpiece that is your life. So let's not just exist, let's live vibrantly, purposefully, authentically. As we part ways today, I encourage you not to let the inspiration end here. On the screen, you'll find a playlist that's a treasure trove of wisdom, stories, and strategies to help you navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. Click on it, dive deeper, and continue to sculpt the most authentic version of yourself. Together, let's keep growing, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most genuine self. Take care and see you on the next step of our journey. Ever get the feeling that you're surrounded by performers? I know I have. People put on facades every single day, acting like something they're not. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you train yourself to see beyond the surface, to catch the subtleties, everything changes. You start noticing the inconsistencies, the hesitation, the mismatched body language. I remember being in a meeting once where everyone was all smiles and polite nods, but beneath that polished surface, I sensed unspoken tension, hidden motives. It wasn't just in their words, it was in their stillness, their pauses, even the way their feet pointed toward the door. Once you start noticing these things, you can't unsee them. It's like having a new lens on the world. Want to learn how to see past the mask? Let's get into it. Let me introduce you to a deceptively simple but powerful method I like to call the tell me more approach. It's not flashy. It doesn't come with a cape or dramatic music, but it works like magic. The beauty of it is that most people don't even realize you're doing anything at all. All you do is stay calm, relaxed, and when someone is passionately explaining their side of things, no matter what it's about, you resist the urge to jump in, to argue, to correct them. Instead, you simply say, "Tell me more." I discovered this years ago during a heated debate with a friend over whether pineapple belonged on pizza. Yeah, that old classic. I had my arguments lined up, ready to go. But something told me to pause, so instead of clapping back, I just leaned in and said, "Tell me more." And what unfolded was completely unexpected. What began as a light-hearted food debate suddenly turned into a story about their childhood, about family dinners, and a deep-rooted dislike of pineapple tied to a bizarre childhood memory. It stopped being about pizza. It became a journey into their emotional world. Here's what I learned. When people feel genuinely heard, their defenses drop. They no longer feel like they're in a battle or on trial. Instead, they open up. They start revealing far more than they initially intended. You give them a sense of safety, a space where they don't feel judged or rushed. And in that space, people reveal their fears, their hopes, their insecurities, their dreams, sometimes without even realizing it. I've used this in work meetings, in tense conversations with friends, and even with people I knew were being dishonest. There was one time during a business negotiation where instead of pushing my ideas, I just kept saying, "Tell me more." By the end of the conversation, the other side had inadvertently laid all their cards on the table. They shared their concerns, their urgency, even the weaknesses in their plan, all because I listened. I didn't have to force anything. They gave it away. But here's the bigger picture. It's not just a clever tactic. It's about connection. In a world where everyone is rushing to be heard, to be understood, the simple act of listening, truly listening, has become incredibly rare. When you say, "Tell me more," you're showing empathy without attachment, something Stoic philosophy holds dear. You're not trying to manipulate or win. You're just observing, understanding, being fully present. It's not just about gathering information. It's about seeing people for who they really are. So next time you find yourself in a conversation, whether it's casual, intense, or somewhere in between, try it. Say those 3 words. Let them speak. You'll be surprised by how much they reveal, how deep the connection becomes, and how clear things get without ever needing to press or pry. It's in that quiet understanding that real trust is built. And in the process, you'll find that by seeing others more clearly, you begin to see yourself more clearly too. If you really want to understand someone's true nature, don't just look at how they treat you. Look at how they treat people they consider beneath them. This might sting a little because it uncovers a harsh reality about human behavior. Whether it's how they speak to a waiter, a cashier, or a junior co-worker, how someone interacts with those who hold less power is often the clearest window into their character. I had to learn this the hard way. There was someone I worked with who seemed like a great person. On the surface, they were charming, funny, always respectful in meetings. But one afternoon we went to lunch, and I saw something that changed everything. The moment we sat down, they snapped at the waiter, barking orders, treating him like he was invisible or worse, like he didn't matter. It was jarring. That warmth they showed in professional settings vanished the moment there was nothing to gain. That day I realized this wasn't a rare moment of rudeness. This was who they really were when they thought no one important was paying attention. The truth is, people reveal themselves not when they're under scrutiny, but when they think they're safe from judgment. If someone is kind to you, but cruel to someone they think can't fight back, that's not kindness, that's calculation. It's selective behavior, not real decency. Stoic philosophy encourages us to observe people with clarity, without being swayed by charm or social masks. And this is one of the most reliable indicators of integrity. Kindness should be consistent. True character doesn't shift based on who's watching. When someone has no incentive to be nice and they choose kindness anyway, that's when you know it's genuine. I've started using this as a silent benchmark in my life, whether it's friends, colleagues, or even someone I'm dating. If they treat everyone with respect, regardless of status, that's a green light. But if they dismiss others just because they can, it tells me everything I need to know. And here's the deeper insight. How someone treats others is often a reflection of how they view themselves. People who are secure in who they are don't need to belittle others to feel important. They don't measure their worth by standing above someone else. But those who do, they're usually trying to mask their own insecurities, propping themselves up by putting others down. It's a fragile power built on arrogance and fear, not real strength. So if you want to see past the surface, stop watching how someone treats the people they want to impress. Start watching how they treat those they think they don't need. That's when the mask slips. That's when you see the real person. If you truly want to understand someone's behavior in the present, you have to consider where they've come from. People like to say, the past is behind us. But the truth is, it's not gone. It's living inside us, influencing our choices, our fears, and our reactions. We are shaped by what we've been through, whether we admit it or not. I had a friend who always seemed tense, easily triggered, overly cautious in relationships. For a long time, I assumed it was just their personality. But as we became closer, the pieces started to fall into place. They had grown up in a household where trust was fragile, where love had strings attached, and where they were constantly made to feel they had to prove their worth. They had also been betrayed in adulthood, by friends, by romantic partners, by people they had counted on. Their guardedness wasn't irrational. It was a defense system built from years of pain. That's the thing about people. We all carry invisible blueprints. The way we act, the things that trigger us, the patterns we fall into again and again, they're often echoes of past experiences. It's not about making excuses for poor behavior. It's about understanding the source. Someone who was abandoned may become clingy in relationships. Someone who was constantly criticized might grow up needing validation. Someone who was used may now have trust issues. These behaviors aren't random. They're protective responses born from pain. Stoicism teaches us to observe reality without adding unnecessary judgment. Part of truly seeing someone involves understanding the experiences that have shaped them. This becomes especially clear in romantic relationships. You might meet someone who seems perfectly fine at first, but over time, patterns begin to reveal themselves. Maybe they're overly jealous or have trouble with commitment. In many cases, if you look deeper, you'll find unresolved wounds from their past relationships. Their current behaviors are often fueled by a fear of being hurt again. Recognizing this doesn't mean you should excuse toxic behavior, but it does give you a clearer picture of where they're coming from. The truth is, many people live out cycles that were set in motion by past experiences. They repeat patterns without even knowing it. Take, for instance, a co-worker who constantly craves affirmation. Chances are they're reliving a childhood where they felt like they were never enough. Or a friend who sabotages every relationship they're in. They're likely responding to a deep-seated fear of rejection rooted in past heartbreak. Their actions, habits, and choices often mirror unresolved parts of their earlier life. What's even more powerful is that by understanding someone's past, you not only learn how to better relate to them, but you might also help them recognize and break free from those patterns. If you can gently help them see the behaviors they're repeating, you could help them become more self-aware. That awareness can be the first step toward confronting what they've long avoided. Stoicism values self-examination and continuous improvement, and sometimes understanding where someone comes from allows you to support their growth. It's easy to judge someone based solely on their current actions, but often their past holds the reasons behind those behaviors. When you begin to see actions as responses to personal history, you can respond with empathy while still keeping healthy boundaries to protect yourself from being entangled in their unresolved struggles. In essence, the past is always influencing the present. To truly understand someone, you have to look beyond the current chapter of their life and consider the entire story. Another powerful observation: sudden changes in tone often signal deception or hesitation. One of the most telling signs that someone isn't being completely honest is when their voice shifts unexpectedly. People don't usually notice it themselves, but their tone often betrays what's really going on inside. When someone is confident in what they're saying, their tone is steady, their pace is natural, and their words flow without effort. But when they're lying or uncertain, something changes, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. It's as if their subconscious is trying to alert you, hoping you'll notice something's off. I remember a co-worker who was always polished and charming, always seemed to have the right words. But once, while talking about a looming project deadline, his usual confident tone shifted. His voice, usually upbeat and smooth, dropped in pitch, and he began to stumble over his words. Immediately, I knew something wasn't right. Later, it turned out he hadn't worked on the project at all and was trying to cover it up. That change in tone gave him away. This happens because when people lie or feel uncomfortable with what they're saying, their minds and bodies go into conflict. While their brain tries to maintain the lie or hide the truth, their body, especially their voice, often betrays the internal stress. This can come out as a higher pitch, a crack in the voice, or a pause that's just a bit too long. It creates a mismatch between their tone and their words. Think about the last time you caught someone lying. How did their voice sound? Did it suddenly drop? Did they speak faster or slower? Sometimes people overcompensate and sound overly cheerful, like they're trying too hard to seem normal. These subtle shifts are subconscious signs of discomfort. They're not always trying to manipulate you. Often, they're struggling with the lie they're telling themselves. The discomfort of that lie leaks into their voice. Stoicism teaches us to observe without judgment, and this is a great example of how powerful that kind of observation can be. By tuning into the way someone speaks, not just what they say, you can sense what's really going on beneath the surface. It's not always about catching a lie. Sometimes it's about sensing hesitation or uncertainty. I had a friend who was always enthusiastic about plans until I suggested something she didn't actually want to do. Her voice would shift from excited to flat, like a switch had been flipped. That was always my cue she wasn't on board, even if she said she was. You'll notice this in all kinds of situations: relationships, business, casual conversations. 1 minute, someone's animated and friendly. The next, they're evasive or defensive. Their words might not change, but their tone does. When that happens, it's time to listen more closely to how they're saying things rather than just the content. There's a deeper Stoic insight here too. People don't just lie to others, they lie to themselves. When their tone shifts, it often reflects that inner discomfort. They're at odds with themselves, and that tension spills out through their voice. Even in our own lives, we've all said things we didn't fully believe and heard our own voices falter. That hesitation, that wavering tone, it's the sound of inner doubt. This is why Stoicism stresses the importance of aligning thoughts, words, and actions. When those three don't match, the imbalance becomes evident, often in ways we don't even realize. So the next time you're in a conversation and notice an unexpected shift in someone's voice, maybe their energy drops, their pitch changes, or there's an awkward pause, don't dismiss it. Ask yourself, what might they be holding back? What are they unsure about? It doesn't always mean they're lying, but it often means they're not being completely honest, perhaps not even with themselves. If you pay attention, their voice will tell you more than their words ever could. And then there's this powerful truth. The most honest moments happen when people think no one is watching. If you really want to understand who someone is at their core, watch how they behave when they believe they're alone. In those moments, people drop the mask they wear for society, the persona they've carefully crafted to gain approval or avoid conflict, and their true nature emerges. It's a difficult truth, because we all like to believe we're the same person in private as we are in public. But often, people act very differently when the spotlight isn't on them. I once worked with a manager who seemed like the model of professionalism. She was courteous, calm, and respectful when the bosses were around. But the moment they left, she turned into someone else entirely, short-tempered, condescending, and dismissive toward the rest of us. It was a jarring shift, and it taught me something important. The version of someone you see when they believe they're being watched isn't necessarily their true self. When people feel they're in the spotlight, they become highly aware of how they're being perceived. They act in ways they think will earn them praise or keep them out of trouble. But once they believe no one's watching, the filters come off. You see their true character in how they treat those who can't benefit them, in how they behave when there's no accountability. These small, quiet moments, when they think no one is paying attention, are where their real values show. This principle is just as relevant in personal relationships. At the start of a romance, people are usually on their best behavior, working to impress each other. But if you want to see who someone really is, observe them during unguarded moments, when they're not trying to impress. How do they treat the waiter at dinner? How do they act when they're frustrated, or when they think you're not watching? Do they still show kindness, patience, and respect? Or does their mask slip and reveal something different? I've seen it happen at parties too. Someone might be the center of attention, charming, funny, full of life, but as soon as they think no one's looking, they turn cold or dismissive. Their true self isn't in the spotlight, it's in the shadows. From a Stoic perspective, this makes perfect sense. Stoicism encourages us to observe life and people as they are, without judgment. By paying attention to how someone behaves when they think no one is watching, you gain a much deeper understanding of who they really are. These unguarded moments offer clarity that no performance ever could. Stoicism reminds us that real virtue is not defined by how we act when we're being observed, but by how we behave when no one is there to witness it. The individual who continues to show kindness, patience, and respect without expecting recognition, this is someone who truly embodies Stoic principles. But let's be honest, not everyone operates this way. Many people draw a line between their public persona and their private self. In public, they put on a mask that reflects who they think they should be, often shaped by what they believe will gain approval or status. But in private, their more unpleasant tendencies come to the surface. I once worked with a colleague who seemed like the embodiment of supportiveness and warmth during meetings. He always had an encouraging word, always went the extra mile to appear helpful. But when we were alone, his demeanor would flip entirely. He became curt, dismissive, and showed zero interest in offering support unless there was something in it for him. That contrast revealed that his kindness in public was nothing more than an act. The truth is, people's most honest behaviors appear not when they're in the spotlight, but in those hidden, unguarded moments. Whether they're extending genuine kindness or expressing cruelty, what they do when no one's watching speaks volumes about who they really are. This is the space where true understanding happens. Because if someone can only show goodness when they're being observed, then that goodness is not genuine. It's just a performance. And here's the deeper Stoic insight. Your true character is defined by what you do when no one is watching. That's where integrity lives. As Stoicism teaches, our goal should be to live in alignment with our values at all times, regardless of the setting or the audience. Whether we're surrounded by people or standing alone, our behavior should reflect the same inner principles. A Stoic's actions remain steady because they aren't dependent on external validation. They're rooted in an internal commitment to virtue. When you learn to observe others during their private, unfiltered moments, you gain a deeper understanding of who they are. But more than that, you're reminded of the importance of being consistent yourself. To be authentic, even when there's no one there to praise or reward you. So, if you really want to understand a person, don't get distracted by the show they put on for the world. Instead, pay attention to what they do when the stage is empty. That's where the truth hides. If you want to uncover what truly matters to someone, pay attention to how they react emotionally. Emotional responses are unfiltered expressions of a person's inner world. They act as transparent windows into the values, priorities, and deep-seated beliefs that shape their behavior. This idea may seem unsettling to some because we like to believe we're in control of our feelings, that we can mask what we care about. But the reality is, when someone reacts strongly, whether it's through anger, enthusiasm, or nervousness, it usually reveals something that's deeply significant to them. I remember a situation at work where a generally calm and collected colleague suddenly exploded during what should have been a routine meeting. Someone had proposed a small adjustment to one of his projects, and he reacted with uncharacteristic intensity. At first, it seemed out of proportion, but when I looked deeper, I realized his reaction wasn't really about the proposed change. That project represented something deeply personal to him. He had poured his energy and identity into it. So when someone suggested tweaking it, it felt like a personal attack. His emotional outburst wasn't about the project's logistics. It was about the emotional investment he had in it. That's how emotions give away what people won't say out loud. People often don't verbalize what matters most to them, but their emotional reactions will speak for them. The manager who becomes defensive when their judgment is questioned isn't just trying to assert authority. They may be tying their self-worth to being perceived as competent. The friend who gets overly upset over a small critique might be dealing with a deeper insecurity. On the other hand, when someone lights up with joy and excitement after receiving praise, it shows how much they value recognition, even if they pretend not to. Strong emotional responses, positive or negative, reveal the things people hold close. They might try to appear detached or indifferent in everyday situations, but when something touches a core value, their emotional intensity spikes. This isn't limited to anger or defensiveness either. Sometimes it's joy, eagerness, or passion. Like when someone talks about a hobby or side project with visible excitement, it tells you that it holds a special place in their heart, even if they downplay its significance in words. This principle becomes even more powerful in personal relationships. If your partner gets upset when plans are cancelled, it might not just be about the change. It could reflect how important quality time is to them. If they become animated when discussing a future getaway or a shared dream, it's a sign that shared experiences are one of their top priorities. Emotions are always tied to values. By observing how someone reacts emotionally, you gain a silent but powerful map to their inner world. You don't need them to explain it to you. Their reactions tell you everything. For example, if you point out someone's repeated lateness and they immediately get flustered or angry, that response might be about more than just the observation. It could be that reliability or being seen as dependable is a core part of their identity. They're not just reacting to the comment. They're reacting to a perceived threat to who they believe themselves to be. Stoicism encourages us to observe behavior with calm objectivity, and emotional reactions are some of the most revealing aspects of that behavior. When emotions flare up, it's usually because something valuable is at stake. You can use this insight not only to understand others better, but to approach delicate conversations with more awareness and compassion. If you know what stirs strong emotions in someone, you can speak to them in ways that are more thoughtful and less triggering, ultimately strengthening the relationship. But here's the more personal Stoic lesson. Your emotions tell on you too. When you find yourself having an intense reaction, pause and ask why. Is it because the situation touches on something you truly value, or is your ego just getting in the way? Are you angry because someone questioned your integrity, or because your image is being challenged? Stoicism invites you to reflect on these moments. When you understand your own emotional patterns, you gain the power to navigate them more wisely. You learn to distinguish between what truly matters and what's just pride or fear. Reading people isn't a superpower. It's simply a skill built on careful observation. Body language, emotional responses, the subtle shifts in tone, all of these are silent but honest expressions of someone's inner truth. Stoicism helps you develop the kind of clarity that sees past the surface and into the heart of what really drives people. But the goal of this insight isn't manipulation. It's wisdom. It's the ability to understand others more deeply, and in doing so, better understand yourself. The more you pay attention to how people move through life, their triggers, joys, fears, and reactions, the more you begin to recognize your own. And in that awareness, you grow. You become more grounded, more empathetic, and more capable of living a life aligned with your values. That's the real gift of observing without judgment. Not just clarity in your relationships, but true growth within yourself. Silence is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is a powerful indicator of strength and control. You've probably heard the saying, "Actions speak louder than words." Silence is not for the weak. It is for the wise, for those who understand that true power lies not in noise, but in the ability to control it. In this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful benefits of silence that will change the way you think about it. By the end of this video, you'll understand how silence can become your key to building better relationships, improving your health, and living a fuller life. We will explore how silence can improve your observational skills, help you achieve emotional control, save your energy, enhance your decision-making, establish authority, prevent unnecessary conflicts, and earn you more respect. So, stay tuned, because this video may offer you a fresh perspective that could significantly transform your life for the better. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and share this wisdom with your friends, because wisdom is meant to be shared. Now, let's begin this journey together and explore the 7 powerful benefits of silence. Are you ready? Let's get started. The first benefit is that silence sharpens your ability to observe. Imagine how silence can turn you into an incredibly focused observer, helping you notice the small details that would otherwise slip by unnoticed. It's like having the keen eye of an eagle, able to pick up the tiniest nuances and the most important details in any situation. Silence is your secret weapon for honing your focus and sharpening your observation skills. Just as a magnifying glass brings small objects into clear view, silence brings the critical aspects of any situation into sharp focus. The ancient Stoic philosophers recognized the immense power of silence. They understood that wisdom flourishes in quiet contemplation. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "Silence is a fence around wisdom." He was emphasizing that silence nurtures and guards the wisdom that emerges through careful observation and understanding. In our daily lives, we often miss crucial details, whether it's in a meeting where we overlook vital information or during a conversation where we're not truly listening. These missed moments can lead to misunderstandings, mistakes, and lost opportunities. The solution? The power of silence. Embrace silence, and you will witness your observation skills and focus improve like never before. Think of silence as your personal magnifying glass, helping you intensify your ability to pay attention. This translates into becoming an exceptional observer, able to spot even the most subtle details and important information that others might overlook. By practicing silence, you can become a master of focus and observation, making the world around you clearer and more precise than you've ever experienced before. The second benefit is emotional control. Silence is the key to mastering your emotions and maintaining balance in your reactions. It's not just a magical tool, it's a powerful weapon that empowers you to stay calm and think before reacting. Imagine being in the middle of a heated discussion. Silence becomes your shield, giving you that crucial moment to pause and reflect before you respond. This pause allows you to regain control over your emotions and ensures that you respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Silence acts as a mental pause button during a tense moment, but it goes much further than that. It gives you the time and space to reflect on your feelings. By taking that moment, you can understand why you're feeling a certain way and decide if those emotions are truly justified. This process of self-awareness is an essential step in emotional control. We've all heard the advice to count to 10 before reacting. Well, silence is like that mental countdown. It gives you the chance to regain your composure and make better decisions, avoiding the regret of something said in the heat of the moment. Silence becomes your safety net, helping you avoid unnecessary emotional outbursts and giving you the time to choose your words wisely. Think of silence as a filter that ensures only your best thoughts and words make it through. It's like the reins on a wild horse. Silence helps you steer your emotions in the right direction, acting as your emotional GPS. By embracing silence, you gain control of your emotions and become the captain of your emotional ship, sailing smoothly even in the stormiest of waters. The third benefit is energy conservation. Silence acts as a guardian of your energy, helping you preserve your vital life force and direct it towards what truly matters. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded by distractions, conversations, social media, constant noise, and all of this drains our energy. Silence, however, provides a refuge, a way to conserve and protect your energy. When you embrace silence, you stop spreading yourself thin, allowing you to focus on what is most important and recharge your mental and physical resources. Instead of letting external noise deplete you, silence becomes a tool for maintaining your inner calm and energy. By practicing silence, you gain the ability to save your precious energy for what truly matters, leaving behind the distractions and noise that can overwhelm you. Silence acts as a protective shield, guarding your precious energy like a fortress that keeps out any unwanted invaders. Imagine your energy as a treasure chest, and every word or action you make is like a coin taken from that chest. When you don't embrace silence, It's as though you're giving away your riches carelessly without considering the consequences. Think of it this way. If you had a cell phone with a limited battery, you wouldn't waste it on things that aren't essential. Silence functions in a similar way, putting your life into an economy mode, ensuring that your energy is spent wisely and not squandered. The Stoics, ancient masters of wisdom, deeply understood the importance of conserving energy. They recognized that life is like an ever-flowing river, and energy, like water, needs to be carefully managed. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, once said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." What he meant was that you must be mindful of how you use your time and energy, as both are finite resources. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in a flurry of activities, running from one thing to the next, trying to put out every fire you encounter. This constant activity often leads to exhaustion and burnout. But silence is your power-saving mode. Just as you would turn off the lights in a room when you leave to save electricity, silence helps you press the pause button and conserve your energy for what truly matters. Consider silence as your personal charging station. It's the place where you can recharge and prepare yourself for the challenges ahead. Silence ensures that you don't run on empty, helping you preserve your vitality and focus on the important battles life throws at you. When you embrace silence, you're practicing energy conservation, ensuring you have the strength to face the significant challenges that await you. This practice will keep you strong and ready for whatever life brings, giving you the endurance to withstand whatever comes your way. Now, let's explore how silence can enhance your decision-making. Picture your decisions as pieces of a complex puzzle, with each choice fitting into the larger picture of your life. Without silence, it's like trying to solve this puzzle with missing pieces, making it harder to navigate through life's challenges. It's as if you were trying to sail a ship through turbulent waters without a map. Likely, you'd end up lost or crashing into rocks. Silence is like having that map, guiding you with clarity through the complexities of life. The Stoics, wise beyond measure, were masters of decision-making. Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, once said, "First, tell yourself what you want to be, and then do what needs to be done." This means that your decisions should align with the person you aim to become. In the chaotic world we live in, we often find ourselves in situations that demand immediate decisions. It's like being trapped in a maze with multiple paths, unsure of which one to take. When you make decisions hastily, without taking a moment to embrace silence, you risk choosing the wrong path, one that may lead you astray. Silence gives you the space to reflect and make deliberate, thoughtful decisions that are aligned with your long-term goals and values. Think of silence as your decision-making laboratory, where you can examine your options carefully and ensure they align with your desired outcomes. Embracing silence as a tool for decision-making allows you to take control of your life's direction, helping you make choices that bring you closer to the life you've envisioned. By valuing your decisions and not rushing through them, you safeguard your future and ensure that you are consistently moving toward your personal vision of success. Finally, silence plays a crucial role in establishing authority. When you maintain silence, it becomes a symbol of power, a scepter that represents your domain and influence. Just as a king's scepter signifies his reign, silence acts as your royal emblem, symbolizing your presence and command. Imagine yourself as a leader of a team. When you speak, people listen, not out of fear, but out of respect for your wisdom and authority. Silence gives you a real, undeniable presence that commands respect. It's not about dominating others through words or force, but about cultivating an aura of quiet strength that others naturally respect. Your silence becomes your most powerful tool for establishing authority in any situation, allowing you to lead with grace, wisdom, and unspoken influence. Silence is a powerful tool that can command attention and respect from those around you. Think of it as a sign of genuine authority. When you remain silent, your presence speaks volumes and demands the attention of others. This is not about overpowering people with words, but about commanding respect through your silence. It is akin to a king wielding a scepter, a symbol of their reign and authority. In the grand stage of life, silence serves as your emblem of leadership, representing your wisdom and strength. In everyday situations, such as meetings or family discussions, silence ensures that when you do speak, your words have weight. If you're constantly talking, your authority may be diluted. But silence amplifies your presence. It's like turning up the volume on a speaker, allowing your words to have more impact. A well-timed silence, followed by carefully considered speech, leaves a lasting impression. It ensures that when you do speak, people listen, not because they are afraid, but because they respect your wisdom. Silence, far from being a passive gesture, becomes a vital tool for establishing authority. It is not about saying nothing, but about being strategic with your words. It is the art of impactful communication, where you command respect not through volume, but through the thoughtful power of your presence. In this way, silence serves as a shield, protecting you from unnecessary conflict and promoting harmony. It helps you maintain peace and encourages understanding in your interactions. By embracing silence, you are cultivating an environment where peace prevails and meaningful dialogue can flourish. Silence also acts as a safeguard against unnecessary conflicts. Life can often feel like a battlefield, and conflicts are like hidden traps waiting to ensnare us. In moments of tension, silence acts as a shield, protecting you from falling into these traps. It offers a strategic pause, giving you the space to think before reacting, reducing the likelihood of unnecessary confrontation. The Stoics, wise philosophers of ancient times, understood the power of maintaining inner peace. They knew that conflicts often arise from our reactions rather than the events themselves. By choosing silence, you avoid stepping into arguments and instead approach situations with a clear mind, looking for resolution rather than escalation. Silence is not passive. It is your strategic tool for maintaining peace and avoiding conflicts. It allows you to listen, understand, and find common ground with others. It is a bridge between opposing sides, ensuring that conflicts are resolved through conversation rather than confrontation. By embracing silence, you can navigate life's challenges with greater calmness, preventing misunderstandings and promoting unity. This approach leads to more peaceful, constructive interactions and positions you as a diplomat of peace, someone who can foster understanding and harmony in even the most difficult situations. Silence is also crucial in earning respect. It is a means of showing who you are, rather than simply telling others. In the great theatre of life, silence serves as your performance, and it is this performance that earns you respect. The old adage, "Actions speak louder than words," holds true, and in this context, silence becomes your action. It is a clear signal that you are a person of substance, someone worth listening to. The Stoics believed that living virtuously and according to one's principles was the key to earning respect. In your daily interactions, respect is the currency that comes from acting consistently with your words. When you do not remain silent, your words can lose their impact, and your actions can become lost in the noise. Silence, however, serves to highlight your actions and words, allowing them to shine more brightly. By speaking less and saying more, you allow your words to captivate and command attention. Silence ensures that your speech does not overwhelm, but rather resonates with clarity and authority. It is your ticket to gaining respect, as it allows you to show, rather than simply tell, who you are and what you stand for. Through silence, you demonstrate that your trustworthiness and wisdom are not just words, but actions that demand respect. By choosing silence, you allow your trust, wisdom, and maturity to become apparent to those around you. In doing so, respect follows naturally. Silence is not about retreating into the background. Rather, it is about standing out in a way that commands the respect you truly deserve. When you embrace silence as a tool, you turn your actions into a powerful reflection of your character and principles. This is your path to becoming someone who garners admiration, not through loud declarations, but through a composed presence and the quiet strength that speaks volumes. As we explore these profound insights into wisdom, the time has come to take responsibility and put these principles into action. Take a moment to reflect on what you've learned and commit to applying it. Declare to yourself, "I am a warrior in my own life." This is not just a statement. It's a promise to yourself to live with purpose, embracing the power of silence and wisdom in your daily interactions. As we conclude this exploration of the 7 remarkable benefits of silence, I hope you found both inspiration and wisdom that you can apply in your own life. Always remember that silence is never a sign of weakness. It is, in fact, a demonstration of power and strength. Now that you understand these principles, it's time to put them into practice and experience their transformative effects. If you found value in this video, please take a moment to like it, share it with friends and family who can benefit from these insights, and subscribe to our channel for more daily wisdom, free from filters and censorship. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, silence is a powerful tool in your quest for a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Until the next video, continue to be the protagonist of your own story. Sail confidently and purposefully across the vast ocean of life, for you are a warrior of your own existence, destined to conquer great heights. Until we meet again. Have you ever felt unappreciated, underestimated, or confused? If so, this message might resonate with you. Let's explore these feelings and discuss how to handle them in a more mindful and empowered way. Often, we find ourselves in situations where our emotions are triggered and we are tempted to react impulsively. Let's look at how we can master the art of managing our responses to such moments. The first principle to master is the art of not reacting. In life, you have the power to control your reactions, but not everyone around you will act in ways that align with your expectations. This is an important realization. You don't have to respond the way others do. When someone makes a sarcastic remark or criticizes you unfairly, it's easy to become reactive. However, by taking a moment to pause before responding, you can regain control. The key here is to not give in to immediate impulses. When emotions run high, such as during a meeting where someone may be rude or unkind, resisting the urge to react can allow your mind to cool down. In this space, you'll have the chance to think clearly and decide on the best way to act according to your values and who you truly are. This is where power lies, not in reacting, but in responding with composure. By mastering the art of non-reaction, you break the cycle of provocation and show that you can maintain control, not only over yourself but also over the situation. This doesn't just improve your relationship with others, but also protects your peace of mind. The art of non-reaction allows you to choose how you engage with the world without losing your inner calm. So, the next time someone attempts to provoke you, remember to pause and breathe. Use that moment to reflect before choosing your response wisely. This practice helps you differentiate between people who drain your energy and those who contribute positively to your life. Mastering the art of non-reaction is one of the greatest powers you can develop, and it offers peace in situations where most people would be quick to react emotionally. The second principle involves using silence as your greatest ally. Silence isn't just about refraining from speaking. It's a strategic pause that gives you the power to assess a situation without getting swept up in the noise. Silence is powerful because it allows you to disengage from unnecessary conflict and gives you the space to reflect on the best course of action. In situations where you feel the urge to react, silence can be the most potent tool in your arsenal. It allows you to create distance from the emotional intensity of the moment and choose how you want to respond. Silence doesn't require acknowledgement or approval from others. It shows strength by letting you remain calm and composed, even in the face of provocation. When you can remain silent in the right moments, you're asserting your power without uttering a single word. The third principle is about knowing your own strengths. Understanding and acknowledging your inner strength can help you stay grounded when faced with emotional challenges. Everyone has moments when they feel overwhelmed or tired, but it's important to remember that your ability to stay independent and true to yourself is a strength. Stoicism teaches us that independence is not about avoiding relationships or responsibilities, but about not being controlled by external expectations or demands. By recognizing your own value and strength, you can navigate the pressures of life without losing sight of who you are and what you believe in. Your strength comes from within, and when you trust in your values, you become less swayed by external opinions or emotional turbulence. Incorporating these principles into your life helps you create a strong foundation for dealing with difficult situations. By mastering the art of non-reaction, using silence to your advantage, and knowing your own strengths, you can approach life's challenges with a sense of inner peace and clarity. These practices not only protect your emotional well-being, but also help you build resilience, allowing you to stay grounded and focused in the face of adversity. When you embrace this idea, you begin to see just how liberating it truly is. We often find ourselves distrusting others, feeling alone, and giving too much of ourselves away. But when you reclaim your strength, you take full control over your life and your choices. This sense of control is reflected in everything you do, and it inspires admiration from others. Independence speaks to your dedication and your resilience, showing that you are emotionally and financially free. This freedom means you are not defined by others or by their judgments. You set your own boundaries without needing validation or approval from anyone. Independence also acts as a shield against manipulation. When you're independent, you are not easily swayed or belittled by others. You stand firm, knowing your worth, and not letting anyone make you feel inferior. It is empowering to realize that you have the strength to stand your ground, regardless of external pressures. Your confidence in your independence will make it clear to others that you are not someone who can easily be shaken or manipulated. The next important attitude to adopt is prioritizing what truly matters in life. It's easy to become distracted by things that don't really serve your well-being. However, when you focus on the things that are genuinely important, your life takes on a new meaning. You begin to live with purpose, concentrating on the goals that will bring you fulfillment. It's like an archer adjusting their aim to hit the target accurately. Everything becomes clearer when you focus on what is meaningful. By doing this, you send a clear message to the world. You know what you want, and you will not let anything divert your attention from your path. This is an elegant way to live, knowing what is valuable and leaving behind what isn't. As you prioritize the right things, you also begin to understand what is truly essential, and the distractions start to fade away. Another powerful principle is understanding that time is a source of wisdom. Time, if used wisely, has the power to change us and guide us toward personal growth. Stoicism teaches us to see every moment as an opportunity to develop and refine ourselves. Just like a tree grows at its own pace, without rushing or being concerned with external storms, we too should move through life unhurriedly, confident that with time we will grow stronger and more resilient. We don't need instant gratification, as the real rewards come with patience. While others may seek quick fixes, we understand that true wisdom comes from waiting, observing, and learning. The passage of time will reveal who we truly are and give us the clarity we need. By trusting in this process, we free ourselves from the anxieties of seeking immediate satisfaction and learn to embrace the unfolding of life at its natural pace. The last principle revolves around setting clear boundaries. Just like driving on a busy highway, it's essential to establish limits in our lives. Boundaries are there to ensure that we stay safe, focused, and on track. When you set clear boundaries, you are creating a space where you can move through life with purpose, not allowing others to dictate your direction. These boundaries serve as traffic rules for your life, guiding you away from distractions and ensuring that you remain focused on what truly matters. By respecting your own limits, you create a safer, more secure environment for yourself, one where you are free to navigate the complexities of life with confidence and clarity. People often create their own environment, and through this, they can make safe and meaningful choices in their lives. When you develop yourself, you gain the ability to decide what you value and what you want to express. It's important to recognize that the rules and boundaries you create in your life shape the environment around you. These rules are not just theoretical, they are practical frameworks that guide your decisions and your actions, reflecting your growth and your personal choices. The seventh attitude we must discuss is brutal honesty, which is one of the greatest virtues and transformational tools in Stoicism. Honesty is not merely about telling the truth. It's about embracing a direct and frank approach, free from pretensions. This kind of transparency can be a very powerful tool for disarming critics and those who may not appreciate your actions or your intentions. By being brutally honest, you show the world that you are not afraid of the truth, even when it may be uncomfortable. You don't attempt to justify or downplay mistakes. Instead, you accept them fully. A Stoic understands that facing the truth requires bravery, and by doing so, you earn respect. You openly admit your flaws, take responsibility for your actions, and work to improve yourself. This willingness to accept and speak the truth is a hallmark of integrity. Brutal honesty also applies to recognizing the strengths and virtues of others. It's important to be honest and straightforward when praising others. Acknowledging and appreciating their strengths not only strengthens relationships, but also creates an atmosphere of respect and mutual growth. The eighth attitude is transformative gratitude. Embracing gratitude with sincerity can significantly change the way you approach life. Instead of repressing or ignoring the good things in your life, you learn to express true gratitude for them. This gratitude becomes a fortress that fortifies your future and provides peace in your present. It is through genuine thankfulness that you cultivate a sense of wisdom, making each day more meaningful. By practicing transformative gratitude, you become more grounded and appreciative of the small and big things that contribute to your well-being, and you foster a deep sense of peace within yourself. Have you ever felt like you were trapped in invisible chains, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, all because of emotional attachment? Imagine the sense of liberation that comes with breaking free from those chains, walking through life with lightness and clarity, focused only on what truly matters. In today's video, we'll discover how to turn attachment into strength and freedom, guided by the enduring wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers. Prepare yourself for a transformative journey, one that changes how you perceive the world and your emotions. Together, we'll delve into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, learning the delicate art of letting go with balance, presence, and serenity. If you're ready to take that first courageous step toward a more centered and fulfilling life, you're in the right place. So let's begin. Let's begin with detachment in action. Real detachment starts not in theory but in practice. To truly let go of past experiences, you must be genuinely willing to release them. That includes past relationships that still take up space in your heart and mind. It's like holding tightly to a rope until your hands ache, yet you're afraid to loosen your grip because you're unsure of what lies on the other side. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't always mean falling. Sometimes it means your hands are finally free to reach for something far better. I learned this the hard way when I clung to a comfortable relationship simply because it felt safe. What I didn't realize at the time was that my attachment was closing doors to the greater joy and fulfillment that was already knocking. Here's another truth worth remembering. The fear of missing out is a trap. It's like scrolling through everyone else's highlight reels on social media, convincing yourself that you're missing out on life. But that's not real life. It's a carefully edited version designed to show perfect moments. The moment you stop obsessively watching other people's stories and start fully living your own, the fear of missing out begins to lose its grip. You don't need to know every detail of someone else's life to feel fulfilled. Being present in your own life and creating moments that matter to you, those are the things that truly count. The attachment to a false image of happiness can make detachment seem almost impossible. When you constantly compare yourself to others who appear to be living their best lives, it can feel like you're falling behind or that you'll never achieve what they have. But remember this, the grass only seems greener from a distance. That illusion of perfection in someone else's life can steal the joy from your own. It's like running endlessly on a treadmill, chasing a hologram. No matter how fast you go, you'll never reach it, because it isn't real. Detachment doesn't mean you're giving up on happiness. It means you're redefining what happiness means to you. To emotionally detach, embrace the Stoic principle of focusing only on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, and your personal growth. It's a powerful realization that no one's opinion, no past relationship, and no perfectly filtered image on social media has the authority to define your worth or your happiness. That awareness becomes your armor. It allows you to move forward without unnecessary emotional baggage, ready to experience life in its raw and unpredictable beauty, and open to the genuine and meaningful connections waiting ahead. So remember, letting go is not an ending. It's a bold and liberating step toward the life you truly deserve. Now let's explore the power of detachment. Why is detachment so vital to our inner peace and strength? When we become overly attached to people or situations, we unintentionally surrender control of our emotions to them. It's like handing someone else the remote control to your feelings, allowing them to flip through the emotional channels of your life at will. This kind of power over us can influence our happiness, sadness, and even lead us to make choices we would never consider in a more calm and balanced state of mind. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means giving the appropriate weight to things that lie beyond your control. Think of your emotions as a ship anchored in harbor. If you're bound by too many anchors, you'll never sail freely across the ocean of life. But the moment you begin lifting those anchors, one by one, you open yourself to new adventures, possibilities, and horizons. Stoicism teaches us to release those unnecessary anchors and navigate life with confidence and inner peace. Let's be practical. Begin by identifying who or what you are overly attached to. Then ask yourself why. Are you seeking validation? Are you afraid of being alone? Or is it something deeper? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step in regaining control of your life and emotions. Now start investing your energy in activities that bring you true purpose and fulfillment. Practice gratitude. Reflect on your priorities. Meditate on what really matters. Always remember that true growth comes from within. When you focus on your own development and inner well-being, the need for external approval naturally starts to fade. Detachment allows you to truly value your own progress and to find joy in your personal journey. Achievements begin to feel more fulfilling when we learn to find joy in the small, quiet moments. Over time, this mindset builds resilience, enabling us to face life's challenges with calm and confidence. Trusting in this journey of emotional detachment is not a one-time decision. It's an ongoing process. But with each emotional anchor we release, we move a step closer to freedom. Freedom from emotional dependence and toward true inner peace. Navigate the vast ocean of life with courage, knowing that you hold the power to shape your own destiny. Understanding attachment is crucial. When we become deeply attached to something, it's often our ego that's leading the way. At our core, however, we are beings made of love. Think about a newborn baby, pure, joyful, and untainted by the complexities of ego. But as we grow older, the ego begins to assert itself, filling our lives with attachments. These attachments, whether to people, outcomes, or ideals, can blur our judgment and pull us away from our essence, which is rooted in love. It's important to remember that attachment is an ego-driven game, the very opposite of love and inner wholeness. When we step back and look at our desires and relationships through this lens, we start to recognize the unnecessary weight they carry. Now picture a life lived from a space of love rather than ego, a life where you are not desperately clinging to outcomes, to people, or to a sense of status. Living from love allows you to believe in abundance. It helps you trust that what is meant for you will naturally make its way into your life. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about having a deep-rooted belief in your own worth and abilities. This belief gives you the strength to let go, to see attachments for what they are, anchors that limit your potential and keep you from fully exploring the vastness of who you truly are. Begin by recognizing these anchors. See that the fear keeping you tied to them often stems from your ego's craving for safety and external validation. Then shift your perspective. Understand that your worth is not connected to any specific attachment. At your core, you are enough. This realization doesn't happen instantly. It requires ongoing effort, a conscious and deliberate practice of choosing inner peace over the need for approval. Embrace the idea of abundance. When you release the fear of losing something or someone, the universe has a way of filling your life with even greater gifts than those you let go of. Detachment does not mean that you stop caring. It means that you understand on a deeper level. It means staying true to your essence and allowing love, not fear, to guide you. The path to detachment is one of transformation. It's about peeling away the ego to uncover the resilient, loving soul that exists within. It's about moving through life with lightness, free from the emotional burdens of attachment and ready to welcome new blessings with open arms and an open heart. The illusion of the ego is powerful. Often, our ego convinces us that we're not enough or that others have something we lack. It leads us to believe the grass is greener on the other side, causing us to become emotionally dependent on others in our search for validation. This illusion can push us to idolize others, placing them on pedestals as if they possess something magical or unattainable. Yet in life's most honest moments, we are reminded that no one has a golden ticket. We are all equally vulnerable and human. It's essential to confront this illusion and see it for what it really is, a mirage. Don't allow it to warp your view of yourself or those around you. Let's reflect on self-confidence and inner healing for a moment. Reminding yourself that you are amazing, special, and unique is not arrogance. It's a healthy practice that nurtures self-worth and builds emotional strength. But this mindset should never lead you to see others as lesser or separate from yourself. It's not about comparison. It's about acknowledging that while our paths may differ, none is superior to the other. We are all threads woven into the same great tapestry of life, each one meaningful in its own way. When it comes to attachment, especially in relationships, it's easy to fall into the mindset of scarcity, the fear of losing someone who feels irreplaceable. This fear is directly fueled by the ego, which feeds us narratives of lack and limitation. In truth, emotional detachment does not mean becoming cold or unfeeling. It means embracing the abundance of life and recognizing your own boundless capacity to love. It's about understanding that even if someone holds a special place in your heart, your sense of wholeness is not dependent on their presence. This realization brings freedom. It allows you to love more deeply, without fear, without clinging, and without desperation. It's a shift from attachment to appreciation. In harmony with Stoic philosophy, it is helpful to view everyone, including yourself, through a lens of equality. We all play roles in each other's lives, but no role is indispensable. Just as others impact our journey, we too contribute to theirs. But in the end, no one person holds the key to our inner peace. When we internalize this truth, we develop a deeper emotional strength, one that equips us to face life's uncertainties with grace. The Stoics taught us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our will. By applying this mindset to our relationships and our attachments, we discover a path that leads to true peace and unwavering resilience. Let go of the illusions your ego creates and allow yourself to live from a place of clarity, love, and self-empowerment. This path connects deeply to the fifth way to happiness, a journey inward, asking a powerful question: where does true happiness come from? This question, when genuinely explored, can guide us away from unnecessary attachments and lead us into a space of emotional freedom. Understanding this idea is especially vital when we are faced with the difficulty of letting go of someone we once held dear. Letting go is not a moment, but a process, one that requires us to ground ourselves in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism doesn't teach us to sever ties out of bitterness or indifference. Instead, it calls us to realize that the most meaningful companionship we'll ever have is the one we cultivate with ourselves. Our true worth is not given to us by others. It is formed within through character and wisdom. The way we treat others reflects that inner foundation. It's easy to fall into the belief that our happiness is tethered to the presence of another person in our lives. We think our value rises with their approval and diminishes with their neglect. But this way of thinking binds us, shrinking our vast potential down to someone else's choices. It's like a bird forgetting its wings, believing it needs permission to fly. Now, imagine realizing that the sky has always been open. You were always meant to spread your wings on your own terms. This kind of self-sufficiency is deeply freeing. It teaches us that our worth doesn't rise or fall with the presence, absence, or opinions of others. Emotional detachment, then, isn't about pushing people away. It's about moving closer to ourselves. It's about redirecting our energy to personal growth, to becoming the fullest version of who we're meant to be. In doing so, we lift the weight of dependency. Think of it like growing a garden. You don't beg one flower to bloom, you nourish the soil, water the plants, and trust the natural process. By nurturing ourselves, we cultivate a garden that thrives, regardless of who enters or admires it. That inner cultivation becomes a resilient, independent, and deeply rewarding source of happiness. So, how do we walk this emotional path of detachment? It begins with the realization that you are whole, with or without someone's validation. Your journey is about exploring the vast landscape of your own inner sky. Learn to fall in love with the freedom that comes from flying solo. When you embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, you learn to focus only on what lies within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your growth. This doesn't mean closing off your heart or rejecting love and connection. It means emotionally grounding yourself in the stability of your own being. Remember, your self-worth isn't some incomplete puzzle waiting for someone else's piece. It's a masterpiece, already whole, yet open to receiving more beauty from the world around it. Let this be your empowering reminder. You've come this far, and that alone proves your courage and determination. The path of detachment is one of transformation, and with every step you reveal the depth of your inner strength. Each act of letting go is not a loss, it is a gain, a testimony to your ability to grow, to rise, and to evolve into your highest self. Never forget, you are the anchor of your own life. No one else holds the reins to your emotions or your destiny. By releasing attachments that no longer serve you, you open the door to fresh possibilities, new adventures, and an inner peace that few ever experience. You are worthy of a life filled with joy, purpose, and meaningful connection. When you apply these Stoic principles and embrace detachment, you are not just transforming your own experience, you are becoming a beacon for others. Your journey inspires those around you to walk their own path of growth. Never underestimate the influence you carry. You are wise, you are resilient, you are filled with limitless potential. Continue forward with confidence, knowing that true happiness and freedom are always within reach. If this message resonated with you, please support this journey. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content, and share this with those who may benefit from these powerful insights. We'd love to hear from you. Share your reflections and personal takeaways on emotional detachment in the comments below. Show your commitment to this path of growth by commenting with the phrase, "I'm ready to navigate freely." Your voice matters. Your journey matters. Let's keep creating content that empowers, heals, and uplifts. And always remember, real transformation begins within. Together, let's continue growing, step by step. Everything you desire is already waiting within you. You carry an unshakable spirit and a force that cannot be broken. Never stop believing in your power and your worth. Until next time, stay strong, stay centered, and keep shining your light.